Yes. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness. Let it beat. Backspin got the beat going, waking us all up on this Saturday, September 24th. Beautiful day in the life as well. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. We're talking sports of all sorts for the next hour here on WLGZ HD2, The Beat 1055. We're talking sports of all sorts. There's a lot of things to talk about. We're down in Fort Lauderdale today, getting ready for tomorrow's big game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. We're going to give you the inside scoop on that game coming up later in the show. But right now, the first things first, we want to the Buffalo 10. We want to dedicate the show, Real Deal Sports Show, to the Buffalo 10. Stay strong. We're with you forever there in Buffalo, New York. Talk regarding the Top Supermarket massacre back on May 14th, 2022. We will not forget you. Buffalo strong. Buffalo 10 even stronger. And also want to dedicate the show this morning to Maury Wills, a great baseball player, passed away back earlier this week. LA Dodger great, was a league MVP, rookie of the year back in 1962. Great ball player, great humanitarian there. When I had a chance not to meet him, but definitely learn about him, he had already retired in the 70s, but he was still always ambassador for Major League Baseball and an ambassador to the sport of baseball. So it's always been good for Maury Wills, a good person, good human being, and an even better, great baseball player for the LA Los Angeles Dodgers back in the 60s. Rest in power, Maury Wills. Yes, indeed. And first up, next we're going to stick with baseball. Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols hit his 700th home run last night. Actually, he hit his 699th and his 700th home run last night for the St. Louis Cardinals. And ironically, at the LA Dodgers, the team that he was with a year ago. I guess he came back to Dodgers Chavez Ravine and wanted to show the people there in LA that, hey, you got rid of him. You sent him packing last season. I thought he was all done. But hey, the Dodgers had to make room for those young guys. It's understandable. And thank goodness his team that he played majority of his career with, the St. Louis Cardinals, picked him back up. And he joined the Cardinals. And now, boy, the month of August, he's found the fountain of youth. Unbelievable playing, unbelievable hitting. He hit 12 home runs in August. And now he's coming on strong now with his 699th and 700th home run. I'm hoping he stays on and comes back next season and as a designated hitter. The designated hitter gets us to see stars like Albert Pujols a little bit longer, and people who didn't get to see him in the prime of his career could at least get an idea of how great this man really was on the baseball diamond. And also another great humanitarian off the field of baseball, right? Fanatic, welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Fanatic, good morning to you.
What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you hear me pretty well?
Yes, can hear you
All right,
now.
good. Yeah. Hey, man, the machine, Albert Pujols. What can you say? Him and I know we'll talk about my man Roger Federer later. Both of them just elegant, just smooth, just perfect to a T. How you swing and hit a baseball. And Albert Pujols fastest to 400 home runs. First one to hit a home run off of 450 pitchers. Because remember Albert Pujols, he's playing in an era where different people were coming in and having particular specialists who were jumping in and throwing 98, 99 when that was a thing, trying to get on them right on right. Lefties coming in with these devastating sliders. He really has stood the test of time. And it was just beautiful to watch last night. He was back in LA, not for the Angels where he played, but in against the Dodgers, and just went for those 2 home runs back to back. Just beautiful, man. And so just want to give Albert Pujols his flowers. Like you said, great humanitarian. Him and his wife do a ton of work, especially giving back to his native Dominican Republic. And man, he's just an absolute great player. Literally one of the best of all time in that elite category in number 700 with Ruth, Hank Aaron, and of course Barry Bonds. So shout out to Albert Pujols, the machine. 700 home runs is an amazing accomplishment. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm glad we got to witness it. It would be cool to see him come on back, but he doesn't have anything else to prove. That to me, this was the number. And we'll talk about it later as well, Rad, man.
Right.
What numbers mean the most, and to me, he's made it across that threshold. He made it to 700. So that's
Exactly.
a big thing.
Uh,
So
e-
we're good on that. So I'll be glad
Absolutely.
to see it.
You're glad to see it. Exactly. Albert
Yeah.
Pujols. You don't think he'll come back next year?
I don't think he needs to. What else is there to prove? What else is there to prove? Like he's done it. Like he's already a World Series champion multiple times. Killed it. He's back. He is a Cardinal. He was always in red, but that Angels didn't look really right on him. He never really was right. Got injured more. Just wasn't the machine there. Nah, he's back with the Cardinals. Glad to see him and Yadier Molina. Adam Wainwright giving big hugs at the end. Man, it was beautiful. So my point is, there's nothing else to prove. He's good. He's in there. He could come back. Yes, he looked like his body can come back. He can still hit. He's got 20 home runs for the season, so that's a solid number, especially with home runs being down overall. He can still hit, but does he need to? Is my point. No, he doesn't need to. He can ride off into the sunset. A good old 42 years old, Jackie Robinson, 42. I think it's time for him to kind of hang it up, enjoy his career. It was a beautiful career to watch.
Well, very good, very good. I was just thinking, when you see a guy of this magnitude playing this long and being still being productive and finally hit the 700, he could. Obviously, he's definitely not going to catch. I shouldn't say definitely, but even if he were to come back next year, I definitely don't think he could come get to Barry Bonds' record of 762. But he could get
Yeah.
up to 713, past Babe Ruth. He could get there to 713 reasonably next season. But like you said, he doesn't have nothing else to prove. They won the World Series back in the day. The Cardinals are this season still got a chance. They're going to be a strong team to eliminate in this year's playoffs. They've been playing very well. They're playing the Dodgers right now, so I think they're letting the Dodgers know that hey, they're coming forward. You're not going. You may have the best record in baseball, but they looking forward to maybe dethroning the World Series champions, LA Dodgers, and they off to a good start already. They off to a good start
Uh,
already. So
hundred
we'll
percent.
see.
Yeah, the Cardinals are one of those teams. Just like to me, Tampa Bay Rays in the AL. They're no matter what their record, if they get into the dance, get into the playoffs, man, you do not want to face them because you are going to have to legit beat them. They're not a team who's going to beat themselves, have a starter implode, have some bad base running blunders, running into outs. That's not how the Cardinals nor the Rays get down. So you have to legit beat them in a series, and that is not a team you want to play, especially with the playoff pedigree of the St. Louis Cardinals. Man, hey, heck, they won a World Series championship being down to their literal last strike, and they came back and won a World Series. So the Cardinals, if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to actually beat them. So yeah, I
Exactly.
wouldn't. The Dodgers, yeah, they learned it quick, fast, in a hurry. They do not want to play those St. Louis Cardinals.
Absolutely, they sure don't. And you take a look at Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is doing it the right way. He said, "No, I don't want." He turned down the contract at the beginning of the season, and now had the best, most productive season of his career. He may, you never know, he may not have another season like this, but he's young enough that he could have another 60 home run season. Obviously, he's going to hit 61 pretty soon in these last 13 or 14 games left. He's gonna do it. But Aaron Judge, what's your comment? What do you think about Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees?
Hey, come on, man. First things first about that is pitchers stop being such punks, man. They talk about they don't want to be history made. They don't want to be embarrassed and be the one who gives up 61. Stop it, man. Challenge him. He went out there. People aren't even throwing the ball close to the plate. It just seems it's all of a sudden they just changed it up on the whole game on him, man. And it is wild to me. It is suckerish to me. The pitchers need to pay and earn their checks, man, and go out and try and get him out. Don't be throwing four balls way at his shoelaces where doesn't even have a chance to hit the ball. It's not to me if it was in a 2-1 ball game in the ninth, I understand it. But you in the first inning, he's leading off the game and you don't even throw a strike close to him. Stop it, man. Boston, yeah, in particular, y'all need to have more pride than that in this weekend series. If y'all give it up, y'all give it up and just add it to the history of Yankees, Red Sox. Y'all not going anywhere. Who cares if you give it up? Challenge him because right now he's getting the Barry Bonds treatment where he's not even getting really any pitches really to hit. So I just hope he doesn't press. He stays within his own states, continue to hit those doubles, hit those singles to right field. But Aaron Judge is absolutely amazing. And just to me, there's a parallel. I see Aaron Judge, I see Lamar Jackson, both people who didn't take the deals that were offered to them, and now they're going to go ahead and they bet on themselves. And clearly Aaron Judge has earned this money. Whether I don't know about a 10-year deal. Maybe if you could get him that 5 to 6 year deal, he definitely has earned that money. $300-400 million. He has definitely earned that. No question in my mind. And another, what a great dude. We talk about when people make these mistakes and do some more questionable acts. We talk about that regularly. We need to talk about the good. Aaron Judge does a ton of great work, especially in the New York City area, over in Jersey, giving back to his foundation. Helping with students literacy in the Bronx, where of course the Yankees play. So Aaron Judge, shout out to him on the field and off the field. And people, let's go make sure the pitchers continue to throw strikes, and let's see if they can get Aaron Judge out.
Absolutely. Well stated. Congratulations. Congratulations, Aaron Judge, on a great season. And I'm sure you're going to hit that record sometime this week. Possibly this weekend. They did the same thing to Barry Bonds. They walked him a lot. He still has led all the major baseball in the history of baseball right now in walks because they didn't want him to hit a home run off of them. So that seems to be a baseball thing that they do. They don't want to be the one that gives up the home run. But I actually like that Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher the other night. He threw it right down the middle. I guess he said, "Here, man, hit me if you can. What you going to do?" That's the kind of mindset you might want to have going after him to get it done. Also, one other baseball note, Julio Rodriguez in Seattle. He's the fastest player ever to accomplish 25 home runs and 25 steals in a season. Man, this guy, young man,
crazy.
you don't hear a lot about him because he's on the West Coast. But what's your take on Julio Rodriguez?
Yeah, was in the All-Star game, and then was great. Won the home run derby. Julio is just a great player, young ball player, and to me, I'm just excited. He's actually running the bases. It's not all about home runs. It's not all about just trying to strike out at home runs. He's getting on base and actually running. So I love that. And so, yeah, if you get a chance when Seattle, especially comes East, folks, check him out. Really great ball player, young ball player, and just really talented. And I think especially now as they continue to open up the field for baseball starting next year, making the bases slightly larger as well. Julio is definitely a person where I can see him easily getting into the 30-30 club next year, and then potentially even a career year of a 40-40. We haven't seen that in a while. So he definitely has immense talent.
Absolutely. He has immense talent. Get a chance to see him in the upcoming playoffs. Seattle most likely will make the playoffs as a wild card team. Maybe one and done or a best 3 out of 5 series. Keep an eye on Julio Rodriguez. He's a star, a future star. Already won the batting, the home run derby this year.
Yep.
Hurt his wrist a little bit in doing so, but he took a couple weeks off after the home run derby, All-Star game. Came back, and the man is helping lead Seattle Mariners back to the promised land, which is making the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs in quite some time. Excellent job and making Seattle relevant. They have some other talent out there. So if you get a chance, check out the Seattle Mariners come this last couple of weeks of baseball, or also in the playoffs as well. Congratulations to Julio Rodriguez on another on a fine achievement, 25-25. Unbelievable how baseball has been going. And last but not least for baseball, the Rays had all starting Latin American players in the lineup back on 9/15 on Roberto Clemente Day. That was another achievement of baseball, and also for the Latin community worldwide. 9 starters, Latin ball players starting. That's an excellent achievement. And also, I think that next year everybody should have to wear Roberto Clemente's number 15 jersey on his day, similar to how they do Hank Aaron. They do Hank Aaron on Hank Aaron's day as well. I think he was definitely a great man as well, and they made a lot to society and contributed a lot, not only to Major League Baseball, but also as a great humanitarian as well. We don't talk about Roberto Clemente as much, but yes, he should continue to garner accolades throughout the world, and also during the Major League Baseball on Roberto Clemente Day. Advertised and promoted so that we'll know. I just happened to see it, turn it on. I said, "Oh wow, okay, this is Roberto Clemente Day." Didn't hear nothing about it coming up, but Major League Baseball has to do a little bit better of promoting their legends, of the game. And him, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente are definitely 2 legends of the game.
Yep, very well said. Very well said. And I love it's great what they do for, of course, Jackie Robinson Day. To me, is super important for us. Yes. But especially when it comes to like Roberto Clemente, that's somebody who we don't talk about, and he was trying to deliver food to his people in Nicaragua where he died in that plane crash. So Roberto Clemente, another great player on the field and off the field as well. So
Absolutely.
that was really cool. Now I will say about the Rays, it came up later. It was almost a fight between the two of the teammates, including Rosarena. They pushing and shoving. So the Rays after that game had some words to say, but hey, we know about teams that can get a little bit like that. But that was pretty cool history to see back a couple Thursdays ago.
Absolutely, and they lost to the Astros in that game, 4-0. And I get, hey, a lot of teams lose to the Astros, so obviously something came up. I had a disagreement. Those things happen on these ball teams and things of that nature. So yes, indeed, hopefully they got it straight with the ball team, and we go from there. Next up, Fanatic, what you want to hit back to the? We go into. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll jump in, man. I want to talk about the graceful, the person who also inspired me. We talked about Serena as a GOAT, Roger Federer. To me, he just always just so elegant, so beautiful. Not the power of a Rafael Nadal, not a showmanship of a Djokovic, not a server where it looked like it hurt with like an Andy Roddick in America. It really looked like to me that Roger Federer was playing it in a tuxedo. He just looked so smooth and elegant and beautiful with the beautiful one-handed backhand. He just always looked so grateful. He always just looked like he was hitting the ball not immensely hard, but hard enough to get it past people. He always just looked like he had the ball on a string. He could put the serve wherever he wanted. He could hit his forehand. He could drop the slice wherever he wanted. He could do the backhand. Roger Federer, he retired. He lost his last professional match last night. It's weird, but him and his arch rival Rafael Nadal, they shared a moment last night playing in a doubles match, and so they lost. So it's weird to see the bull that is still currently Rafael Nadal, who was arch nemesis, really, especially at the French Open. But Roger Federer, I just want to shout out to him, another great man off the court as well. Family man, really giving back all across. Now, tennis is a global sport, not giving back just to his people in Switzerland, but all across the world. So Roger Federer, man, he was the first one in 20 Grand Slams. I know subsequently Nadal and Djokovic have passed him in total majors. But to me, Roger Federer, when I just think of beauty and tactician, I would love to mix, especially with young people, the grace and the tactical of Roger Federer, the power of Serena. You'll have an all-time great. And I just want to break down Roger Federer was just an all-around great player. He won 8 Wimbledons on grass. So great to see him in that all-white, 6 Australian Opens, 5 U.S. Opens, and he did finally beat Nadal in the one French Open. So where Nadal dominates totally really at the French Open, Federer was an all-around player. Again, winning 8 at Wimbledon, 6 at the U.S. Open, 6 at the Australian Open, 5 at the U.S. Open, and won all these. I'm talking about Grand Slam majors at what's his total career. So Roger Federer, to me, in my opinion, on the male side, the best of all time, even though he doesn't have the record of Grand Slams. Rabbit, what say you?
Hey, that was well stated, well put. Roger Federer was one of the greatest, and now we're coming to a time period where we're seeing these tendencies, the great ones, Serena Williams, now Roger Federer. Nadal look like he's going to be probably next to retire. So it's going to be a whole new group of tennis stars coming up. So keep that in mind, everybody. Remember how great these people were, that you had the chance to see them play. And if you didn't have a chance to see them play, check them out on YouTube or check them out, Google them, and you'll see some of the greats of tennis and also baseball. I mentioned Maury Wills. Look up Maury Wills as well. Check out some of these legends that came before the stars that you see today. Before Aaron Judge, there were guys well before him. And Maury Wills, the stolen base leader. Roger Federer, great tennis, 20-time champion. I mean, that speaks for itself. So he's definitely going to continue to do his thing off the tennis courts for sure. Boy, very good, Fanatic. Like how you pulled on that one. Very good on the tennis as well. Tennis, baseball, and now we're going to football.
Sports of all sports, baby. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
Right place.
That's right. Talking sports of all sorts. And we're going to talk NFL, Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans. The Titans, they got cheap in the front office and let A.J. Brown go. They let Roger Saffold go. Quisenberry gone. Even Ford, the young man that ran in the playoffs for them very well in place of Derrick Henry late last season and into that playoff game that they played, they even let him go. So I don't know what they're thinking. What I would have kept him at least the running back. I thought he played very well. While Henry still is trying to recover from that injury. He still looks a little not. He doesn't have that explosive start right now, and that's something that you only can play yourself into. The more games he plays, the better he'll probably become. But that line is not as strong as it used to be. The Bills dominated the Tennessee Titans, and I think as we see as this season goes on, I think Tennessee will not be a playoff contender this year because first of all they got to get a quarterback. Tannehill is a wide receiver trying to play quarterback. We saw that Monday night. Terrible reads and then missed throws. He just threw the ball. He had terrible throws as well out there on the game Monday back on Monday night. So keep that in mind. Tannehill is just not getting it done, and I don't see Tennessee Titans making the playoffs. They may not even have a winning record this year. If they get to be 9-7, I think they'll be really lucky if they get to be 9-7 because they just don't. Their team looks depleted, and then Landry, the defensive tackle, was hurt during training camp, preseason and camp. He's gone for the season with a torn ACL. I think that's going to be a big difference with the Titans this year. But the Bills, they continue on this weekend where we're down here getting ready for that one tomorrow over at the Miami Gardens at Hard Rock Stadium. Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. And we're going to bring on our other panelists. Jay Gills, good morning to you. How you doing this morning? All right, he's coming on with us shortly. We'll have him on. But Backspin, let's run the interview with Jamison Crowder. Hear what Jamison Crowder has to say from Monday night after Monday night's game. This is Jamison Crowder, sponsored by Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. Check out Miriam Rivera Insurance. She take care of you just like she take care of me and my family. Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, auto, home, health, and life insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue and 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Call 585-360-0094. And now let's go to the interview with Jamison Crowder.
It's coming on up.
Yeah, it's just coming up.
I will say while we're waiting on that, hey Rad, man, you look good down there. I'm in H-Town, so a little bit farther away from you. But hey, man, you look good. With that shirt looks straight up Miami. Look like you ready.
Good morning, and yeah, Rad, man, that's a whole fact, man. That's a great place to be doing the show right now.
Yes, indeed. Right outside. Only problem is these mosquitoes eating the Rad Man up. Man, these mosquitoes they like this shirt and the Rad Man too, I guess. Good gracious, man. If you see me swinging, I'm not swinging at the laptop. These little bugs, man, they done come over here now. Good gracious, man. But Jay Gills, it's gonna be hot. The humidity, it was almost 90 degrees yesterday when we arrived in town. Mighty Oba, the whole crew coming here. Everywhere I look, there's Buffalo has already taken over this town, Fort Lauderdale, and I'm sure at the stadium tomorrow they're gonna be going at it. I heard a guy on the plane said, "Hey man, we gotta go get the tables, man. Once we check in, we gotta go over to the store and get the tables." So man, they're gearing up. They got Bills fam, Bills Mafia, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I had a couple of my friends in my fantasy football league hit me up, living in Fort Lauderdale, but they from Buffalo and they going and they Bills Mafia all the way. Bills Mafia, they are taking over South Beach, and it's going to be a heck of a game. We can't wait to see it. Just a brief, I know that the Jamison Crowder interview is coming on shortly, but you touched on the Tennessee Titans, right, man? And one thing we have to look at is Mr. Malik Willis. You know, the Titans, they lost their identity with Derrick Henry coming back off that injury. And Mike Vrabel's always been a defensive coach, and they just don't have the defense. They let the Bills put up 41 points on them. Malik Willis did get some time in that last part of the game on Monday night, and I think we need to see more Malik.
Oh, really? Okay. You think Malik Willis will take over? I think so too. I think he will get the starting sometime during this season. I think if they continue to lose and they don't have a winning record, which I don't think, like I said, they'd be lucky to get to 500, get a little over. I'm thinking 9-7 because of the division that they play in. But if they continue to lose, I think Malik Willis will be in there a lot more. And you gotta control and you gotta hold on to the rock, hold on to that football, protect the football. That's one thing I noticed about Malik Willis, that he has to, and maybe because he's nervous moving around, he can run with the football, he can throw it. He just gotta be able to work a little bit more on his ball protection for Malik Willis. How about you, Fanatic?
Yeah, definitely, man. And to me, I think it's going to be the SEC again coming at Traylon Burks. It looks a lot like AJ Brown. He just is young. He's only in his, that was his second game of the season, Monday night. That's a tough spot to ask a rookie to come in and be great and be AJ Brown. But overall, the cheapness of the Titans is coming back to bite them. The chickens are coming home to roost. So that's on that's on the Titans organization. Derrick Henry, I feel bad for him, because what else is there that's scaring you on the Titans offense? It's nothing but Derrick Henry and that offensive line just okay. Taylor Lewan. So it's definitely an issue. So hey, but we are here. Hey, the interview is ready to go. We're gonna get ready to make sure we get that out here for the people. But the Titans, man, I think they're gonna be in some trouble, and I can't wait to preview the Bills coming up here for you.
Yes, indeed, and we can go ahead and do that, because I think the interview just finished over the airwaves. Boy, somebody needs a muffler out here, but they're over the airwaves now. But we're gonna continue on with the. I wonder if we could do the Dion Dawkins interview, Backspin. If we could put the Dion Dawkins interview, and this interview is brought to you by Rock Palm Broker on State Street, 559 State Street. Stop through to Rock Palm Broker. Check them out as well. 559 State Street, 585 area code 262-9920. Get the best jewelry in town, the whole 9 yards. Stop by Rock Palm Group Brokers is the sponsor of this interview with Dion Dawkins.
Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy Jay Gills. We got the big fella. We got Mr. Dion Dawkins in the building. Ayo, Dion, man. After that kind of performance, what is this offensive line going to do next?
You know, just keep putting one foot in front of another. It was far and from perfect, but as long as we're working together as a unit, you know, the sky is the limit. You know, Mitch is our center. He makes and the calls, and we go off of his calls. So as long as we're staying together and keeping the 17 clean, I'm happy.
Now, as you said, Mitch, he's the guy. He's a center. He's been leading the team. He went down there in the first quarter. How did you guys bounce back, and who really took charge to really lead that offensive line and to get it to the next level?
Yeah,
You guys didn't skip a beat.
Yeah. Like the crazy thing is with the O-line, it ain't really just like one guy. It's all of us. Like we all play and as one, we all lead as one, we all control the line as one. But it was all of us. Like when somebody goes down, we have to just be ready to add another link and keep the thing moving.
Now, last time you guys played the Titans, Harold Landry kind of took off. He wasn't there tonight. I know you'll probably remember that, but he wasn't there tonight. Next week, you got Jaylene Phillips. You got Melvin Ingram. How are you going to prepare for this Dolphins defense that you guys have dominated in the past? How are you guys going to prepare for this Dolphins defense?
You sound like a fan of the Dolphins. Sheesh. Are you a Dolphins fan?
Fan of football.
All right, cool. But the Dolphins do have a great defense. And just like any team, we have to just get in the film room, study them. Melvin's a great player. You know, the kid is going to be a great player. He's still good now. You know, as long as we worry about ourselves, the rest, put that to the side until we get there. But the focus is on us.
The last question is, because it's the main thing that matters, because my man's Dion stepped up and he's looking fly. I got to get the whole fit, y'all. I got to get the whole fit. What you wearing tonight?
Yeah, just a little bit of a drip. You know, you feel me? But you see it. But hey, bro, it's all a part of it.
Bro, definitely drip.
Good, feel good, play good. That's all it is. Man. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, there you have it, man. Your professionalism, Jake Gills, through Dion Dawkins there for a minute, man.
Hey, the audio doesn't do it justice. After the show, I'm going to need everybody to tune in to Zeal Talk Upstate on Instagram and the RealDealSportsShow.com, because the visuals, the video just gives it so much justice. Dion's facial expressions, he's going to be a meme after this interview, and it was just so great to see. It was great. Well, he did call me out. He called me out about those Dolphins, but I told him I'm a fan of the game and I do my research, Dion. That's all that is.
Absolutely. Yeah, the look on his face, man, when he was looking at you, he said, "Wait, are you a fan of the Dolphins?" I couldn't help but laugh. That was me laughing in the background. I was like, oh my gosh, man, just broke on him. But he was looking clean after that victory. After that victory, man, it definitely, man. But hey, they're gonna have their hands full with those guys tomorrow. What do you think is going to be the result of this game tomorrow? How do you see it tomorrow, Jay Gills?
Oh man, I know there are a lot of Miami Dolphins fans eager right now, and as I'm in upstate New York, Rochester, I work with a lot of Bills fans, and the Bills fans are kind of putting the foot on the brake a little bit, like, oh, the Dolphins might get us this week. The Dolphins might. I don't want to hear any pushback, but the keys to the game is going to be if the Miami Dolphins, and specifically Mike McDaniel, can continue to establish that run game that has made their play action pass game so effective this season. If the offensive line can get a push on that defensive line, mind you, the Bills defense, there are going to be a lot of injuries in the secondary, but when we're talking about establishing the run game, most notably up front with Ed Oliver being out and Jordan Phillips being out, it's going to be Tim Settle and the rest of those guys who are going to have to step up and be able to stop the Dolphins' run. The Dolphins are going to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage with Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, and don't be surprised if you see Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill in the running game, like how Debo was utilized back in the 49ers. It's all about establishing a run and then playing off that play action pass. And hopefully with those injuries in the Bills secondary, that play action pass, we'll continue to see guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle feast over the top. And that'll be the keys to the game. But it's only one caveat. And that Bills offense is still rolling. And Josh Allen he's a whole nother guy when he plays that Dolphins defense. When he plays against Miami, he goes Super Saiyan. And that Bills offense is still clicking. And we're going to have to see, can Tua keep up? 6 touchdowns last week. He fed both of his receivers over 10 catches, over 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns apiece. Will Tua be able to keep up? And will that Dolphins run game be able to be established like it was in the past? And those are the main keys, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I think those are good keys to the action. Micah Hyde being out is going to be critical because he's the defensive play caller. Jaquan Johnson will be the man calling back there along with Jordan Poyer. And Jordan Poyer is banged up too. He has a foot and an elbow. His foot seems to be the problem right now. These guys are getting old. They've been around. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. The Bills have been blessed to have them play with the team since 2017. And now you're seeing that they're starting to physically run out of gas. And Micah Hyde had a serious neck injury back when he was with the Green Bay Packers before he came to Buffalo. I didn't realize that. And his injury, even though we saw Dane Jackson get carted off by an ambulance, had to come on the field, take him to ECMC because he did take a brutal hit, friendly fire from Tremaine Edmonds on that play. If you saw that hit, Dane Jackson definitely, you got to make sure everything is structurally, everything is fine. Give him a couple weeks off and then see if he's ready to come back after that brutal hit. But ironically, it looked like Micah Hyde injury might be more severe than the Dane Jackson looked more severe how it happened. But Micah Hyde, he's now looking at getting second opinions. He's gone outside of from the Bills doctor organization, and he's out getting second opinions is what we're hearing about his neck condition. So when you start seeing that tells you, hey, that's a serious injury, and he's contemplating. You got to make the right decision for him and his family. He got 2 young kids. Beautiful family, beautiful wife and kids. He wants to, be around for them. You don't want to be injured and so forth. And so, hey, he has to make the right call. Hopefully he's able to come back. If not, we may have seen the last of Micah Hyde. An outstanding career. The man has played very well for the Bills. And I do believe once those guys retire, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer should go up on the Ring of Honor for the Buffalo Bills because those 2 guys really helped set the tone for the Bills going from a non-playoff team for 17 years to making the playoffs and now consistently being in the playoffs. And one other footnote, too. With Hyde and Poyer starting from 2017 to now, the Buffalo Bills have only allowed 87 touchdown passes in that time period. Only 87 touchdown passes, and the closest team to them is over 100. 110, I believe, touchdown passes in that same time period. So for these guys, the Bills to only allow 87 under their watch, it speaks volumes to not only Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, but also Leslie Frazier. It makes you wonder, how come Leslie Frazier is not hired as a head coach now with that type of statistical data? That man knows defense. He knows how to disguise the defense. And Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer how to take his game plan and implement it to perfection most of the time on the football field. Yes,
Couldn't
Fernando.
have said it any better. Couldn't have said it any better. But that's why you listen to the Real Deal Sports Show. Well, people haven't really talked about that. Of course, all thoughts, prayers, good and well wishes with Dane Jackson and his family to feel better and get better 100%. But man, that Micah Hyde injury, that is super crucial as well on the back end. And like you said, on the Real Deal, it could be career implicating. So definitely, of course, the Bills have started out strong, but we know the NFL season really is all about a war of attrition. So let's see who can be the healthiest as they get toward the end of the season. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. The real thing for me, man, in tomorrow's game is, will the Bills be able to collapse the pocket? Because Tua, he's not big. Tua's not a tall man at all, and so the Bills, especially, they've been able to collapse the pocket on these quarterbacks and keeping them right in the pocket. And Tua's not going anywhere, but if he can't see over the trees, balls can get batted down. Aaron throws can be had because his receiver, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, they're not big either. So it's going to be interesting to see how does Tua try and create lanes to throw the football accurately and on time in that Mike McDaniel's rhythm type offense that he, of course, got from Kyle Shanahan. So to me, it's going to be all about the defensive line. And Oliver, again, being out, Jordan Phillips being out. Definitely the Bills are. But this is why you have the depth that Brandon Beane has put on the squad. So it's going to be interesting to see it. Next man up mentality and see what's it going to look like for Tua as he tries to navigate that tall, long, and definitely ferocious Bills pass rush.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, let's go back, and we're going to go back to the Jamison Crowder spot so that other listeners can also pick up this one as well. Backspin. We'll go to Jamison Crowder, and this is sponsored by Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper. Pick us up weekly, thechallengernews.com via online, or pick us up at most businesses in the community, Calvin's Magic Wings, the downtown government building, Strong Hospital, MCH, and most businesses in the community. Pick up Challenger Community News. And also, we're back in the churches. So when you go to church on Sunday, Zion Hill, Enon, Memorial AME, Zion, Mount Olivet, Challengers are right there for you to pick up and take with you after the church service on Sunday morning tomorrow. So pick up Challenger Community News, and we're going to go back to the Jamison Crowder interview.
Hey, what's good, Joe? It's your boy Jay Gills. You got Mr. Jamison Crowder in the building. He played a huge role with Gabriel Davis out. You opened up a lot for your teammates out there, for your boys like Stephon to go off. So, you know what I'm saying? Josh Allen went off. How are you feeling after such a great game?
I feel pretty good. Obviously, man, Steph had a big game. You know what I'm saying? Jake, stepped up. Jake Kumro stepped up with Gabe being out. Do that. Guys had to step up. Isaiah made some good catches. I was able to make a good catch on third down, and we just had a great game all around. I feel like in the second half we really turned it up. Defense up just a turnover, so that definitely helped.
Now you're going 2 for 2 right now. I mean, the Rams, you guys put up 31, and now next week 41. How comfortable are you guys getting in this offense with new offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of guys are comfortable in it. Especially guys that have been here. For me, is more so still trying to learn and get a feel for everything. Obviously we had camp and stuff, so I've been able to kind of incorporate myself a little bit, but I'm still trying to get a feel and still trying to learn it. But for the rest of the other guys that have been here, man, a lot of the stuff is very much the same. So as far as what I've seen, to some extent they ran in the past, so a lot of those guys are comfortable, and this is all about just staying consistent and continue to get better each week.
Now, all levels of the game went on, from offense to defense and special teams. They had a huge role. Can you touch on special teams, how they did tonight?
Special teams did really well. You know what I'm saying? Was able to generate a couple of turnovers. Tennessee, man, they had a couple of muff punts and stuff like that. So that's always huge when you can, punt the ball deep and have a guy drop it and able to, follow. That's essentially like a deep pass for us almost, you know what I'm saying? Setting ourselves up with good field position. So I think that we did play really good complementary football. The defense was able to get a couple of takeaways as well. And they also had the pick six. So when everything is rolling, man, that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. Football is complementary football.
playing with the Jets against the Bills? Because you seem quite comfortable on the punt, on catching the ball on the punch with the wind and everything. Did that help you being here? That you played here before?
Well, I mean, honestly, man, I hadn't done punt return since I was in Washington, man, with the Redskins, now the Commanders. So my time with the Jets, man, I hadn't even done the punt return. So I'm still trying to get a feel for it, get back there. Obviously, man, I go back there and I feel like the thing with catching it, man, you got to just obviously when you go out there and warm ups and stuff, just kind of get a feel for the wind. And today, obviously in warm ups, it was pretty bad, but as the game went on, it kind of died down. But when I get back there, man, I just go back there with my confidence high and just first thing first, just make sure I catch it and then just try to go. So that's always my mindset when I go back there.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you.
There you have it, Jamison Crowder. I think he's going to be a key contributor throughout the season. He's a veteran player. He's very dependable. And Sean McDermott loves veteran players, and especially guys that are dependable. That guy, the wind was blowing a lot in that game on Monday night, and he made the adjustments and caught punts for Buffalo. People don't realize you don't see it in the box score, but he caught a couple of them that were tricky. And you saw what happened to the young Tennessee Titan guy. The ball ended up hitting him on his shoulder pad and bounced on, and Buffalo recovered that fumble. So Jamison Crowder will be a key guy not only on the special teams, but also on third downs that they're playing the spot that Cole Beasley played here previously. I think he's going to make some key catches for the Bills throughout the season on key situations. Watch for Jamison Crowder to come through for the Buffalo Bills. Right, Jay Gills?
Definitely.
Yeah,
and also, I thought one other thing that I noticed, Raheem Blackshear, the running back that I liked, who was my favorite guy in training camp, he was picked up.
You always talked him up.
He was just picked up by the Carolina Panthers, so he might even be starting for the Carolina Panthers tomorrow. I hate to see him go. I was hoping Buffalo would just move him to the active roster, but that would mean cutting somebody. I would have cut somebody to keep him. I still would have cut Tyron Jones. Tyron Jones is a good special teamer. Once again, Sean McDermott loves those veteran guys and guys that don't make mistakes. So he kept Tyron Jones. Didn't make a move. So we lost Raheem Blackshear. I think that guy is going to be an excellent running back in the National Football League. And with Devon Singletary contract up at the end of this season, and he wants more money, hey, it would have been a great time to plug Raheem Blackshear in there for next season. But that's how it goes. You can't keep them all, Fanatic.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, so what's the deal? Do we think Gabe back this week? Gabe Davis, or is Gabe Davis back this week? Do we think with that ankle injury and what's really going on with that?
I don't think so. I think he looked tentative in the practices that I've seen. Watching some of the practices, it looks like he's. I'd be surprised if Gabe Davis returns. I think he'll return in a couple of weeks, maybe the Ravens game, but definitely by the Kansas City game. But it could be a high ankle sprain. They're just saying ankle sprain. I think it's a high ankle sprain that Ed Oliver has as well. I think Ed Oliver. That he's already been ruled out. I think we won't see him for a couple more weeks. Maybe the Kansas City game, maybe looking to see him at that time, because those ankle sprains, it take a while to heal. The Bills, this season the Bills have a boatload of injuries. Last year they were good without the injuries. They seem to, but the injury bug is upon us, and the Bills just got to get next man up. Hopefully Tim Settle. Hopefully he'll be back in a couple weeks too with his hamstring situation. So we'll see. The Bills have got a lot of backup guys playing. Brandon Brand, who I predicted last week would play, he played very well Monday night. CJ Brewer, I think both those guys will be reactivated from the practice squad. They'll be out there on Sunday in the regular rotation, and we'll see. It's very humid down here, so they're gonna be doing their regular rotations, maybe even a little quicker coming up on Sunday. So it should be a good opportunity to see a really good football game. It's the 1:00 game tomorrow, so everybody get ready for that one. Jay Gills, in closing, before I know you got to roll, Jay Gills, in closing, what would you like to say about the game, and also how people can reach you?
This is going to be a special matchup. A lot of kudos was given from Josh Allen to Tua, and I think that in Josh Allen's career, going 1-7, I really am excited to see as how special of an offense that this season has been, that the team has been having this season. I think that he's going to be putting up MVP type numbers tomorrow. So if Tua can keep up, it's going to be a showdown, and I think that it's going to be a special game. But as you guys know, y'all can check me out at www.ziltalkupstate.com. And follow me on Instagram where you can get the exclusive Real Deal Sports Show content, interviews, and that's going to be at Zeal Talk Upstate on Instagram.
Beautiful.
Love
Check
it.
it out, and you get to see the interviews and check that out because it's worth seeing Deion Dawkins, the look on his face before he said that. Are you a Dolphin fan by any chance?
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see it.
It was at its finest, man. It was one of those, as they say, a classic moment in interview session. But the pro that Jay Grills is, the professional, you let him know, hey, you're a fan of the game. Yeah, you study the game. He came back with the right answer and let him know, hey, let's get this interview. Let's get it in. So, hey, we're gonna catch up with you next week. Final score, real quick, Jay Gills. What you got the final score being?
Final score. With all of the hurt and the injury, and with this being the season that it is, I think the Dolphins might edge them out in Miami early in the season with these injuries. If they don't do it now, they'll get swept yet again. And I will say I'm gonna go Miami Dolphins 30 to the Bills 28.
Whoa,
All right,
yo,
all right.
is Jay Gills a fan of the Dolphins or something? Wait a minute, did you hear that story?
Yeah, I heard that.
all right.
Yeah, I heard that, man. Yeah, we gotta ask him that question too. Hey, but thank you, Jay. Hey, we'll catch you next week.
Good to see you, Jay.
Take
Yes,
care.
sir. Thank you, fellas.
All right.
All right. And then as we get into closing time, we got the closing time phonetic. We get to the phonetic rant, and we get to the couple games as well. What do you have the
No
other
doubt.
topics?
No doubt. Hey, first thing first. Hey, we got to talk about the LSU Tigers. Hey, we talked about it when Brian Kelly messed up and was terrible against Florida State in the Superdome. Bad start, but he did have a good, tough SEC win. Again, when you play somebody like Mississippi State with Mike Leach. Mike Leach is the dude, man. He that air raid wrinkle that he has with it. That's a tough offense to stop, and the LSU defense really shut it down in the second half. And Jaden Daniels, I don't know what it is, but somebody need to tell him that the game, he always gets hot in the second half. Jaden Daniels, somebody need to tell him that the game is starting 2 hours early so he can get warmed up even earlier, man. Because that first half with him are always atrocious, even going back to his Arizona State days. So LSU this week, big home favorites in Death Valley against New Mexico. So looking for a big win there before really starting to get into the gauntlet of the SEC. So big win last week in Brian Kelly's first SEC win of his career last week at LSU against Mississippi State.
One quick topic to add in here. I touched on it earlier in the show. What's your take on the Boston Celtics and suspended? I never heard of a head coach being suspended for a year. What kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah, it definitely seems like some good old buffoonery. I definitely want to. I think we're gonna dive a lot more into that next week because I want to read more into it to figure out what exactly was going on. Because all I hear is like it was consensual. Yes, we know power dynamics, but when you talk about you get suspended for a year. That's what you get suspended for a year. It just seemed that the crime didn't fit the punishment, and I'm trying to figure out really is Ime because he's partnered with Nia Long. They have a child together, or not a child. Now they have I think it's a 12-year-old now. So I'm trying to figure out are they Will and Jada? Are they in an open relationship? Or now he been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So we'll see about that. But to me, my biggest thing is the crime didn't fit the punishment. I kept waiting for the punchline for something heinous, but it seemed like two consenting adults, and I mean, grown folk gonna do what grown folk is gonna do. So
Exactly.
it seemed crazy to me.
Yeah, and they said that he broke some other rules. Well, what's the other rules? I mean, what else is being broken by this guy? And why would you keep him on if you feeling you can't trust him and you feel that if you're gonna suspend him, that should be handled internally. That shouldn't even have got out to the media. He should have had to pay a fine internally, and they handle that because that's what they do for white folks, man. They handle it internally. They don't put it out and blast it on black. And who from the Boston Celtics released that to the media? It was obvious it came from the Boston Celtics media department or somebody within the organization. Somebody released it and they released it right to the Boston media. And who would tell Woj House, the NBA guy? They told him and all this
from How to Venture.
Yeah, he's from the St. Bonaventure. So it's just it doesn't look like a class act by the organization as well there in Boston. I think that was a bad move, and I think it's going to hurt them down the road. Let the guy go and get picked up by another team. I'm sure it's another team will hire him as a head coach because he did such a fantastic job in his first season with the Boston Celtics, taking them to the championship game round, losing in the finals, in the NBA finals.
Yeah.
So let the guy go. If you feel that
Yeah.
way, let him go. Or if you dock them some pay, but you don't suspend
And keep
nobody
them
for the
moving.
whole season, man. This is
Exactly.
professional sports. This not college or Pee Wee. Come on, man. This is nonsense. Nonsense.
Yeah.
And as we get ready to
Yeah,
close,
that's crazy.
yeah, and as we get ready to close, I see Buffalo pulling this one out 31-28. It's going to be a barn burner. The only thing I hang my hat on, Josh Allen loves playing against the Miami Dolphins. He has his best games against the Dolphins. For some reason, he just loves every player has their team, and his team is the Miami Dolphins. He plays exceptionally. He plays better down here than he plays in Buffalo against the Dolphins. He always puts up big numbers. I think he will put up big numbers tomorrow because you remember Lamar Jackson, they were up by 21 points on those guys in the early in the third quarter. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. I mean, hey, the Bills jump on them with the passing game, get some points going. Let Leslie Frazier in the defense disguise the coverage. Jaquan Johnson has been there long enough. He can help with the play calling on the defensive side of the ball, helping out. And Damler, you may see Damler play a little bit. Christian Benford and Khair Elam, those guys got to step it up. And I'm sure he's going to do different coverages to help the two rookie cornerbacks. So it should be a great game tomorrow. Join us. I'm going to go over here and get some alcohol or something for these mosquitoes and some off, man. I'm walking across the street to this drugstore and get some off, man. Man, these mosquitoes are unbelievable, man. I don't know why the mosquitoes love the rat, man.
They love the rat, man. Hey, they feel that good blood is up in you. We know you got that good blood for all you do for the community in Rochester and abroad. So, hey, I'm not surprised. But yeah, get your small spray, man. Cause hey, South Beach, it's only almost 9 o'clock there. Come on, it's only gonna get worse the later in the day. So get that. Hey, we know we got to check out the Winner's Edge. We know the music is coming, but as always, before we talk, I like Detroit +6. I love Detroit +6 against a division opponent. That's a lot of points. I want to shout out the Las Vegas Aces, 2022 WNBA champions. So that's a big when they finish off the Connecticut Sun. So Asia Wilson, I'm definitely rocking her jersey, my whole family. So love that. Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, great squad. Buffalo Tim, we always dedicate to you, our shows, and then continuing free Brittany Griner. So check out the Winner's Edge. We'll love to see you guys on there. You know the Radman knows how to make some money for y'all. So check him out.
That's right. If you want to win some money this weekend, go to RealDealSportsShow.com. Go to our website, RealDealSportsShow.com. Click on Winner's Edge. I got all my picks on there this week, and I can guarantee you I'll win you some money just like we won some money for some people last week. We can win you some money. Go to RealDealSportsShow.com, the website. Check out the site. Click on the page for Winner's Edge, and we can win you some money just like we won some money last week with some of our excellent picks a week ago. Backspin.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I never heard of no coach getting suspended, man, for a whole season, man. That don't
Hey,
make
man, it is what it is. I mean, I guess when you do dirt, you get dirty, right?
Yeah, you do. And when you're a brother, when you're a brother, they put you on blast. They put us on blast.
Yeah, I don't think he deserved that at all. Not that, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 games even, but the whole season, that was definitely too harsh of a penalty for the crime, if you will.
Yeah. Pay the fine or a fine or dock his pay, something like that, and do it internally. It should never reach the media and the audience, so everybody know what's going on.
I agree.
Hey guys, Nia Long, Nia Long not so long anymore. So hey, things happen. She good people, good actress back in the day, but remember that was back in the day. But hey,
hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Hey,
we gotta go.
You the man, Backspin.
I love Nia Long and Friday though. She's still fine though, man. Don't get me wrong. She can still get it now.
I hear you.
Still bad, yo.
Backspin want to get us in trouble, man.
We had that discussion last night with some people about it, and we had a lively discussion last night talking that. But hey, definitely Backspin. Next week we're gonna get into some high school sports as well, high school football next week as well. On Talking Sports of All Sorts. We see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.
Yes, sir. Real
Yeah,
Deal
let's go.
Sports every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on the Beat 105.5. Y'all stay locked in.